Hello, welcome to the Super Important Show. I am one of your hosts, Justin Diodato. On tonight's show, we have anime will help you do your taxes. We have the most intense karaoke ever. And what type of show would we be if I didn't explain what a sus anal bum party was? Because we're going to do that in a minute. Again, I'm Justin Diodato. I have two amazing co-hosts with me tonight. First up, Heather Jules Booth. How are you doing, Heather Jules Booth?
Oh, I'm crooked. Look at that. I'm doing great. And in my brain, I'm trying to already figure out what sus anal bill party is.
Sus anal bum party.
Great.
Yeah, don't worry. All will be explained soon.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's nice having you in a room. And I have another person in this room, a person who is normally in a room with Heather Jules Booth. It's Chris Jules Booth. Hello, Chris Jules Booth. How are you?
I'm good. And I'm not surprised that you're going to be talking about bum parties.
What? Okay, yes, sometimes stories go that way.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. They go that way. But you never know what it's going to be. Chris, for folks who don't know about you, tell the world who you are. What's your deal?
Oh, what's my deal? I am a former improviser, now sometime improv coach and actor, writer, sometimes comedian, storyteller, and illustrator. And I just had a comic book that I spent a few months drawing and inking and coloring. Went into production today. It's now available online for digital download, but you can get your physical copies in about 2 weeks. That's me. I'm also
I think I have a graphic for folks
look at this.
Folks who want to head on over to Legacy Comics.
Yeah, that's me. And I'm also married to your co-host.
Yes.
Yeah. And
congrats on that.
Thank you.
Good job.
And
Thank you.
Congrats also. It's your birthday.
Oh, It is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Thank you.
So everybody show up to our apartment.
Yeah, show up to the show.
Yeah.
It's a party.
Buy him a beer. All right.
Yes, please.
Yes.
That's what I need more of. Yeah.
Over the internet. Buy him a beer.
Over the internet. Venmo us money.
You can Venmo me. I can't promise you I will spend it on beer, but yeah, please Venmo me at the Chris Booth on Venmo.
You should just tell people because it'll
listen. If you're gonna Venmo me, I will buy all the beer at the Chris Booth on Venmo.
And I'm at Toto Africa, the number 4 EVA.
Are you? Is that your?
Yeah. That's
Okay. I did not know that.
Yep.
We're just openly soliciting your audience for cash right now.
Yep.
We're sort of like the Republican Party, you know.
Except you haven't committed crimes.
Not that you know of.
Encourage it.
Not that you know of.
Right, but you got to flaunt the crime in order to be analogous.
That's true.
You got to really call it out. Do we want to get into our World You Crazy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
World You Crazy. Here we go. This story. So last night we went and did karaoke in celebration of Chris's birthday. And what better way to celebrate us having gone to karaoke than this story, which is about a Florida man who requested a karaoke song, was denied the song, and then pulled out a machete.
I looked for what the song was. I'm disappointed that I don't know what the song is.
Dustin, I Googled this article many different ways to try and find what the song was, because I also want to know. I would love to invite you in the chat to say what you think the song was that made them say absolutely not.
Well, I mean, if it's like most karaoke, it was
Don't Stop Believing.
It was either Don't Stop Believing or
Bohemian Rhapsody,
or Love Shack.
Oh.
And I'd like to think it was Love Shack.
We didn't hear that last night.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think of it.
No.
Yeah.
See, I will take any of those songs because there's energy to them. I hate it when somebody does like something like depressing. I hate when somebody does like one of those like from like a Paul Simon album where he's really bummed out kind of thing. Like that's when I'm just like get the fuck it, like rock out or leave.
I always find drunk girls start doing Alanis Morissette. And you're like,
okay.
Oh, God, here we go.
Well, then you would have hated karaoke last night because we did a block of sad 90s songs.
That was the start of it. It was just
all sad 90s.
What were they?
Creep, Radiohead. I did Zombie.
Creep is iconic, so I will.
Yeah.
I'll let that one go.
I did Zombie by the Cranberries.
I did Nothing Compares to You.
I would not have been happy with that.
I also did the Bonnie Raitt song. I Can't Make You Love Me.
Can't Make You Love Me. I did The Dance by Garth Brooks.
And everyone committed. Everyone else was also picking sad.
Yeah.
Okay. I adamantly disagree with that, and
Yeah.
maybe I would have been
It
the
was
machete
great.
person in this story.
Then we turned into sad 2000s. We did some sad 80s. At which point then that whole group came in, like a separate group came in, and they started diving in with the sad music. They like came in and immediately got on board.
Okay, well,
At one point the bartender said, and I quote, "It's fine. It's a nice relief from people who usually just come in and scream."
okay.
So
And then I immediately did Heaven on Their Minds.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, no, it's fine. Like,
oh my God.
like I'm contemplating hurting myself, so this is the music I want to hear
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is what I wanted to hear. Exactly.
Well, Dustin, not all of us can be you and listen to nothing but boy bands at all times.
Hey, I am well established that my musical taste matches 90s angsty lesbians from the 90s.
Oh, that's right.
That is
What
my
was that-
musical genre.
What was that band that you were listening to that Chris was like, "I can't believe you're listening to this"?
Oh, because I had
The
heard
two
I
girls
heard
in,
it,
like,
I
the
had heard the
Catholic
second
school
song from
uniforms?
Tattoo.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the
The
song.
Indigo
but
Girls, that's his favorite band.
I met them when I was in college. Of course I'm gonna like them. You're gonna like any band that you meet. That's, they're a good
I
band.
get it. No, listen.
They're a good band.
I listen. I have a.
Go with the Indigo Girls.
I listen. I like the Indigo Girls. I have a soft spot in my heart for Semisonic because I saw them in their first concert ever.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
And I don't pretend that they're a great band. They're okay. I mean, no shade if you.
Well,
love
I mean, I don't put Semisonic and the Indigo Girls in a,
Well, I don't think
in a
we're-
similar column anywhere ever.
I wasn't attempting to do that either, Dustin.
All right.
Joy is pointing out Baby Shark would definitely cause rage. I
Yes.
agree. Yep.
Yeah. I mean but that would be a thing where I think you should not let a person
Sing
do
Baby
it.
Shark.
You should not sing.
Yeah,
Baby
you should
Shark.
just be. There's this one place that we go. What's the name of the one that we go on Thanksgivings usually?
Sing Sing.
Oh, Sing Sing. So Sing Sing has written up on their like chalkboard background. If you try to sing certain songs, they charge you more, and they list it. It's like $5 to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it's like $20 to sing Don't Stop Believin'. It's something like it's all the songs that you like don't want to hear drunk people
Yeah.
sing.
But I think the thing about this story is that this guy had the machete with him. So that means that he left his house or his apartment saying, I'm going to go do karaoke. And if these MFers don't let me sing my song, I've got this machete with me to make sure it happens.
He told deputies that he had been threatened days prior to this and that he wanted to stay alert just in case.
Threatened by who? The
It
KJ?
doesn't say. It says he had not been in danger at any point that they could figure out, but he said he was. I also like when the article said that it was before 2 p.m. on a Sunday, so it was pretty early, and they said they found him unsteady on his feet with bloodshot, glassy eyes, smelling strongly of alcohol. And I was like, okay, that's just anyone at a karaoke bar. Like,
I think I
that's
went to college with this guy.
pretty good description.
I missed that line from the article. I'm upset that anybody's doing karaoke before 2 o'clock on a Sunday.
That is pretty
That's
early.
God's time.
Yeah, that's pretty
Why
early.
is anybody
Well,
out doing karaoke at like
Dustin, what better way to praise God than to raise your voice?
Than to raise your voice.
in his name? I doubt they were doing
Christian
religious
karaoke,
Christian
probably
karaoke.
not. Yeah, I doubt
You
it.
don't know.
You're gonna bring a machete to Christian karaoke. Is that
Look, if you don't
that
praise
honoring
Jesus,
the Lord?
if you don't praise
I don't think
Jesus
that it is.
enough,
Listen, you haven't been to a Southern Baptist.
It's fair. Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, if you're not pagan.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone to my grandparents' Southern Baptist church and there's gun racks, there's knives, there's people wearing full camo. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you're right. I my bad. My bad. I apologize.
Hey, you're forgiven.
I did.
That's why he died. To
Yeah.
forgive you.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
That's
right.
true. That's
Like
what we
recently
celebrated
too.
yesterday.
Yeah, it was only like a couple days ago. So yeah.
It was yesterday.
Wasn't that yesterday?
No, he was resurrected yesterday.
Oh.
He died on Friday. Bam! I just won that. In case anybody's wondering who won that, I did. I won that, guys. So
Oh no, he didn't die. I'm right. No, he's
I should not.
born.
I'm probably not on a guest, but I did. So here we are.
It's okay. I looked at him yesterday and I was like, "Is Easter early this year?" And then I was like, "What did I call it?" I said, What's the Jesus thing that happened?" I'm like, "I know that he resurrected on Easter, but what decides when Easter happens? It's like 40 days.
It's the first Sunday.
It's always but it was like the 16th last
Yeah,
year.
there's some sort of like relation to other things.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
makes it ridiculous in my mind. It's like, either he died on this day or he didn't. But to say like he died on this day, like loosely, depending on like.
Yeah, it happens 40 days after Lent.
But then
And Lent is Mardi Gras. So my only way of knowing it is that it's 40 days after Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. Okay.
But I don't think Mardi Gras is in the Bible. I mean, I'm no biblical scholar, but I don't think Mardi Gras is in the
Right
Bible.
about that.
I haven't read it well enough to know for sure.
Yeah.
So, anything else on this story?
No, I think it's pretty, it's pretty funny because it sounds like, the guy was carrying a machete. He's definitely drunk, definitely doing karaoke early on a Sunday. But to his credit, they called him out. They said that the bartender was like, "Hey, man," and it said she peacefully coaxed the machete from him, and he gave it up.
That's nice.
Yeah, like he clearly. It sounds like he clearly wasn't going to hurt them, but he just drank too much and had a rage response to being declined his song.
So my question is this,
Still
though.
want to know what the song was.
Yeah, did he get to sing the song?
No.
Because he didn't.
No, and apparently he had been. It sounds like he had been singing a lot drunkenly. Is going to be my.
Yeah.
I'm inferring that he was really drunk and kept singing, and that asked to sing another song, and they were like, "No, man, you got to get off the stage."
But what's the It's 2 in the afternoon on a Sunday.
I know. It's 2 PM. Like what?
But I mean, like, okay, I'm not a big karaoke person, but if you guys were fighting with somebody who was doing too much karaoke and they pulled a machete, wouldn't you just be like, well,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, all right. I didn't realize it meant that much to you."
Yeah, you win this
All right,
argument
great.
with your machete.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can't just concede to a person with a machete in your bar. Once you concede a song, next thing you know, they're the part bar owner. You got to draw the line somewhere.
No, but there's a difference between the bar owner and the DJ. I feel like the bar owner's got to be like, "Hey, man, you."
I think it's funny that you think that there was a DJ
Yeah, I
at a
agree.
bar on a Sunday.
I have a feeling it was probably just the
bartender, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just assumed that there was always like a dude. I assumed that there was always like somebody like, "Hey guys, what's coming up?
Oh,
Coming up
no.
next,
No.
Heather Jules Booth is going to sing this song."
No,
Like,
it's
Wow.
usually
that's
like
not how it works.
no, it's
Way to
usually
become way misogynist about
how karaoke
karaoke.
works, right?
It's a dude.
Yeah, it's
I-
a dude.
I-
It's a dude.
Because that's the only voice I could do. It wasn't a.
That's the only voice that's allowed to DJ karaoke.
Yeah.
Dudes.
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess in Dustin's world,
I've only seen male karaoke hosts, but I've only been to karaoke like 3 times. So I'm just saying, in my data set says it's a guy.
Wow.
I think you need to open your
more
mind,
karaoke.
man.
I don't think I do. I don't think I'm
No,
going to go to
I
karaoke
think you
anymore.
do.
I don't think
You
I'm.
do.
I don't
We're
think I'm
taking you to karaoke.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I don't sing, so I'll watch you guys sing.
That's what
But
Dustin thinks.
no, you'd be surprised how much I don't sing.
You don't have to be good.
Chris, do you want to go next?
Sure. I want to preface this story by saying that I didn't read the entire story. I got 3 lines into it and realized, of course, Dustin would ask this story to be read. This is the most you story that is out there.
What's so aggro? What are you so aggro in here?
I'm not aggravated. I'm just saying that, you have a certain je ne sais quoi in the Venn diagram of technology and jerk off material is Dustin.
I disagree adamantly. But
That's okay.
Continue with your story.
So the story that Dustin would love to be read is there's a game called Tax Heaven 3000. It's an anime dating sim that also does your taxes. So it's for frisky singles in Japan who want to, diddle themselves while.
Oh, you can do your U.S. taxes with this game.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry. So anyone over the world can diddle themselves while meeting other diddlers and doing their taxes.
You can date an anime character without diddling yourself.
I don't think that's true.
I think
I think the whole point of
it is.
dating an anime character is to diddle yourself.
I think you're wrong.
I don't think.
sometimes it's
I can't think of a sadder thing.
I think sometimes it's the people just don't want to feel lonely and they want to do their taxes.
You're the guy that got Playboy for their articles, aren't you?
I never got Playboy because I was never in that window.
But you would have been like, I'm reading the articles.
He's like,
they have journalists for a reason, guys.
this hustler, the journalistic integrity of this hustler is very high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah,
I think if
they
you're
won prizes.
if you're dating an anime character and you're not diddling yourself, that is kind of sad. I think that's the whole
So you
point.
think you're doing it wrong if you're doing it that way?
What's the point of dating an anime character?
Companionship, love.
What?
companionship.
Do you have one of those full body pillows in your
I don't.
bedroom?
I don't.
I don't. I mean, can we ask Joy in the chat?
She
will confirm.
Joy's listening right
Yeah.
now, so I believe I hear Joy laughing.
No, I saw the stills from the game. I just thought that it felt like a weird, like, identity theft game more than anything else.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's like because you're like, I'll bring up some of the things.
Let's see this, because I still have questions about this in general.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can like read the wording there.
I can't on this screen.
But it's a lot of just like, hey, do you want to go on a date? And also, is this social security number right? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
that
like-
is weird.
yeah, like, hey,
That is really weird.
like, how are you going to be filing your taxes this year?
Hey, big boy, take off your underwear. Also, what's your grandmother's maiden name?
Yeah,
Right, that's basically like what it does.
Oh, look at this! Look at this anime character.
Yeah.
Come on! What does it say? Come on, stand a little closer to me so you can see better. Is your social security number correct?
Yeah.
That sounds
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That sounds thievy.
It feels like
it
full on identity theft.
Both points are correct because that is
It's-
also definitely enticing.
It's a honeypot for nerds.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a honeypot for incels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Steam originally had it as a type of game that you could buy, and then within like a week they took it down. But you can still get it on like the Japanese website. So if you're curious, I downloaded it, and then it's immediately like, probably I don't want this on my computer.
I don't think you should
I
have.
don't.
Also, Incel Honeypot's my favorite Indigo Girls album. So
I will not have you speak ill of the Indigo Girl. They're
until all of a
melodic
sudden,
and wonderful.
Indigo girls are like,
I like the Indigo Girl.
why is this trending? Incel honeypot. We should do something about this.
They know better than that. They know better.
I just think that in ahead of our hashtag story is that hashtag diddler deduction. That's my question.
Diddler deduction.
Diddler
I
deduction.
don't know
That sounds like something that would happen in like a 2000 kitschy game of Monopoly. Like you land on community chest, like you got a diddler deduction of $10.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
That's Monopoly for Congress
Yeah, there you go.
or youth pastors. Hey, in your face.
Yep, there you go. There you go. Right.
Do we have anything else we want to talk about on this story, or we want to move on to our?
I mean,
our
so I do have a question, and I don't know if this is answered in the article, but does the article say whether, like, what's the? I'm going to be careful how I word this. What's the end game of this? I know what one of the end games is, but do you ultimately?
I think the end game is get your taxes done and to ejaculate.
So you do
Which one happens
Which one
first?
happens
Really
first?
depends on your stamina and how
Yeah.
long you've been playing the game.
Yeah, and how many W-2s you have?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Or if you have any 1099s.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't think that it's sexual. Is
What
all
if,
I'm
wait, what if it's 1069s?
I don't think it's sexual. I think it's just flirty.
1069s.
Okay.
That's the form.
All right, we're moving on now.
Okay.
You ruined it.
I like that both of
You
you
ruined
looked
it.
at me and went, all right.
You don't think it's sexual?
I think it's flirty. I'm just saying. I don't think.
You
I don't
don't-
think
so
that
you truly
I
don't
think
believe
that you.
that-
I don't think
So
that you
please-
see.
so
I don't
please
think that you
describe-
see a vagina when you're playing the game. Is what I'm.
No, but
Sure.
but you really don't think that it is expressly designed for that. For like
Oh no, I think it's designed. It's designed for temptation.
And also-
I'm just saying that I don't think that there is penetration in the tax game.
I don't
That's
no,
all I'm
I don't
saying.
think there was either.
Or is that the only way you jack off is to
No,
penetrate
I'm just saying that it's flirt. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
My
it's
question to
flirty
you.
and that's
No, no, no.
sexual.
Okay, so here's the question.
Okay.
Please describe to me
Yeah.
what non-sexual flirting is.
Well, no, but I'm just saying that like it never
No, I
escalates
do-
to that point.
It's a good
That's all I'm
question.
saying.
What's
What
non-sexual
is
flirting?
non-sexual flirting?
No, you can flirt with the intention of it being like romantic. I'm just saying that I
And
don't
what does romance lead to?
to sex, but it doesn't have to in the game. That's what I'm trying
I'm
to
just
say.
trying to understand what is non-sexual flirting.
Do you have sex with everyone that you flirt with? You've ever flirted with?
No.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. In this game, you do. You
But
hear
do you
taxes
have
and
but do you flirt with people that you would like to have sex with?
Not exclusively. Sometimes you just flirt with people because flirting's fun.
What?
I think we just learned something that Both of us did not know.
Were you just out there flirting?
Yeah, Dustin's like, yeah, just
You just out there casting lines?
I'm not
wanting to catch a
that's
fish?
That's my point. That's my point. Is that I'm not trying. I'm not trying to.
Are you one of those people that go out and catch fishes and then release them? Because you're like, it's just
no, because I don't like touching fish. So I would never do that.
Well,
I
we've
cannot
learned.
stand touching fish.
Now I understand why it's non-sexual flirting. You're never touching the fish.
We are moving on. We are moving on. It's going to be at least another 50 episodes. To our third story, which is
You asked me on the show. I mean,
she did.
oh,
For the record.
I apologize.
Yeah, for the record,
Is this my last time coming over to your place?
we'll see. All right. So our next story isn't actually a news story. Our next story is I came across an article where they were talking about some of the best hashtags that brands had tried to use to be successful that did not work out at all. So I'm going to show them to you.
All right.
And then you try and tell me where they come from.
I think
This is not going to help me in terms of Chris making fun of me, but here we go. So the first
It's not making fun. I'm not. It's. This is my love language.
Okay.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting too much love. All right.
Platonic flirter.
Yeah. The first one
Whoa.
is
Whoa.
No.
yeah. No, we're starting out.
Is this supposed to
Out
be?
strong.
Whoa. Whoa.
Do you wanna guess what it is, or
What this-
for this one, do you want to just move on?
No, I'm gonna guess. I'm
Okay.
gonna guess that this is a town named Mole Station, and they have a nursery.
You're right.
Is
That's
the
what it
nursery
is.
and is the nursery for kids or is it for plants?
It is for plants.
Right. And they
yeah.
okay, yeah, and nobody in their marketing team sat down and was like,
Yeah. Afterwards, not only did they make them take the hashtag down, but they made them change the name of the nursery, even though it was named after the town.
I would change the name of the goddamn town.
I would too.
I would too. Yeah.
Didn't you guys do an episode like 3
Yes.
weeks ago about like
Regina.
Regina? Yeah.
Yeah.
Regina. Experience Regina.
Yeah.
Yeah. As 2 words, it's not that bad, but
No.
as 1 word.
I thought this was a hashtag for a saucy Mexican place, mole sauce, mole
Oh,
station.
okay. Mole
That could be,
Station. Yeah,
but
could
it's
have
not.
been.
Yeah.
Could have been. Wow. What a bad hashtag. I
yes.
agree. Rename your town.
Yes.
Because moles.
The next one, rim jobs.
What? Come on.
This was, do you want to guess or?
Research in motion jobs.
Yep, this was for the company that did BlackBerry. They wanted to encourage people to apply to their jobs, so they did the hashtag. rim
They
jobs.
knew what they were doing when they made this their hashtag.
You think?
Yes, I do. I do.
BlackBerry does not seem like the type of company that has fun.
They don't, but I feel like they hired some young person and they were like, yeah, we got a young person. What do you think, young person?
You're like, young people love rim jobs.
And they were like, you know what?
I'm just saying this is the best the best deal you can get in town. Get a BlackBerry, get a free rim job.
Right. Yeah, toppings like someone they weren't telling. I agree. I think somebody somewhere along the line, someone absolutely knew what that meant and was just like, no, it's great. It's a great hashtag. It's going to get people talking.
See, I assume that it was all old people. Because whenever I think BlackBerry, I think of people like in very expensive like suits and stuff like that that don't laugh ever. So I just figured like it was a bunch of old people where like there were probably young people in the room go like
That were like,
giggling to themselves,
you
but
sure
they're
you
like,
want that
nah,
to
fuck
be-"
it, you do it. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
can figure it out.
just never Google old person rim job.
Yeah,
agreed.
that sounds horrifying. That actually really makes me want to, after this show, Google this to find out.
You want to Google rim jobs?
No, I want to Google like.
Don't do it on the computer.
No, I'm not going to.
Because if that's Dustin's computer, it's already been he's already Googled that.
It's already like, how can I not touch fish? Like that's his.
Moving on. You two are never coming together. But, I phrased that wrong. All right. So
I've seen this. I'm aware of this one. I've
you've
seen
used this.
this.
You've used this one before?
No, I saw somebody. Oh, I'm in a Facebook group and it's called Useless Unsuccessful something posting, and it's just like people post signage or things that are. It's a really good Facebook group, by the way. If you are on Facebook, it's extremely entertaining. I highly recommend it. And somebody posted this. I'm trying to remember what this one actually meant. Oh, I don't remember what this one meant. Was it like...
This was for a British literary festival. So it was whatever C stood for. I don't remember exactly what C stood for, but it was whatever C stood for, literary festival. I think like Hillary Clinton was literally like reading from like a book that she wrote at ClitFest, and it got away from them.
I wonder if it has to do with like, because they have those like, don't they educate in like levels, A level, O level, C level, something like that?
I don't know where I have no idea.
I think that they have like, I think it's for their schooling and their education is like, they don't take exams, they take like A levels or O levels. I wonder if that's what the C stood for. I don't.
No, it was for a town. It was specifically for a town.
It was for a town.
Yeah.
Was the town
Topping is like sea level would not be good. Thank you, Topping, because I don't know what the different breakdowns are.
Was the town called Clit?
No, the town was like, it wasn't like Copenhagen, but it was something like that. It was like it was like it was a big weird old like British name.
Yeah. Clouder, Clamtown, something.
Clamtown? Well, we have already established Dustin never goes to Clamtown.
Moving on.
I want to point out, Joy did say this is fun, and I agree. This is a very fun segment, so I would encourage more.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So next up we got...
Okay. This is an Italian company that PowerGen is like the name of their... Is it their electronics? Not electronics, their electrics?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a company that's equivalent to like Con Ed.
Con Ed, in Europe. And it's PowerGen Italia, because Italia is what they refer to themselves. This one's just really funny.
Yeah. I feel like this probably does have a porn reuse somewhere.
I mean, this is probably used by that jack off tax company.
Yeah.
It could be.
Oh god, this one's so funny because you could definitely see that the Italians, like, no one in Italy's going to sit there and think like, oh, we should probably watch how that spells, because they're like, yeah, Italia, and we're all just like.
And I think we're up to the last one.
Okay.
Which is where we started. You can figure this one out, but like almost nobody did, and I had to read it 3 times before.
Oh, it's Susan is having some kind of party.
Susan album party.
Yeah, it's her album party.
Yeah.
Oh, was she dropping an album?
Yes.
Susan Vega.
It was
Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle.
Oh my god, it was Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle
was having an album party.
Was having an album party, and she was like, hashtag Susan album party.
Yeah.
I love this one because the combination of words forms so many things. Because it's like, sus anal bump party, anal bump, anal bum. There's like so many, so many things in this hashtag.
This is the one that made me giggle.
And the fact that it turns, and I think the really the icing on that is that it turns out it's Susan Boyle, who you just know is not. It's definitely
not going to have an anal bump party.
Not having an anal bump party.
I don't know.
She is,
maybe
I shouldn't
she is.
assume.
Yeah.
Susan album party. Oh my god.
So those are the ones that we have for today.
Oh, this is great. Please,
that's amazing.
Please bring this segment back. This is really good.
There aren't that many that are like equally as good, but
my god, there have to be more.
Yeah, I mean, I will do my best to find.
Yeah, this is really fun. This is a fun one to revisit.
Before coming up, we have headlines that we didn't use, but beforehand, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps people know that you enjoy the content, and it helps you remind you when there are new shows. So if you could take that moment right now to like and subscribe, it would mean a whole bunch to us. Thank you very much. And Chris will make fun of me for the next bunch of time. All right.
Why would I make fun of you?
Because you're already doing it.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just taking the things you have said and saying them back to you.
You did say you don't like touching fish.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm literally, I don't.
That's fair, but
literally,
it's a very funny thing to say.
Literally, I don't.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's obvious, yeah.
Here are the titles where the story wasn't that interesting, but the title was. The first one isn't super funny. I'm annoyed I'm annoyed where we are in society, why this story had to be a thing. It's sanitary pad maker, sue Ohio magazine over published letter saying product contains COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a really interesting story that we would just read it and we'd be annoyed and we'd rip into it and like how on earth could you think that that's not even science? It's not even close to science.
The whole story is ultimately actually about the Amish.
What?
What?
Yeah, because Amish people were able to get a hold of the magazine, which they are legally allowed to read, and because it contains a vaccination, they wouldn't use the sanitary pads. They could use the sanitary pads otherwise, but because they believed now that there was a vaccine in there, they couldn't. So they sued because the Amish stopped using their sanitary pads. That was the reason the story exists. I agree, it's weird.
I didn't realize that the Amish were buying so many sanitary pads that would
In Ohio?
put a dent in your business.
I guess so.
It does.
Yeah.
It
Damn.
does.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
But I mean, I would have thought the other way is that like, hey, sanitary pads have vaccine in them. Cool. I don't need to go to the doctor. But
It's the same reason why they put iodine in salt. Is
People wouldn't have it otherwise.
because people wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so like
fluoride in the water.
right. Well, like back in the day, if you went to like villages that were far away from ocean sources, there was like a high, you would see people with like goiters because they weren't getting enough iodine. So once scientists realized that that you need iodine, which comes from like fish, again, then you would have to. That's the reason why people in like seaside towns weren't getting goiters or having thyroid issues because they were getting enough iodine. So the U.S. government just decided, well, fuck it, we'll just put iodine in salt. And that's the reason why the U.S. has such a low rate of goiters and thyroid issues. And that a lot of times, if you are a person who, so the story I read about that was there was a woman who she thought she had like thyroid cancer and went to her doctor, and her doctor just on an off chance asked her, do you eat a lot of things with kosher salt? And she said, oh, I 100% have moved over to kosher salt. I don't use regular table salt. And he's like, why don't you just switch to regular table salt for 2 months and then come back? And she did it and came back and was totally cured. And they said that it was not thyroid cancers, that her thyroid had become inflamed because she wasn't having enough iodine in her diet.
Wow.
I want to put more salt on it.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So that's the reason, that's how you get people to take the COVID-19 vaccine, is put it in ketchup.
Put it in ketchup. Yeah.
Or if you want to make people from the South take it, put it in sweet tea or fucking ranch dressing. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll work every time.
then,
Biscuits.
Second story, Canadian super pigs, the right to invade the US experts continue to warn. I didn't even read this article. I just like the idea of super pigs.
Yeah.
I think super pigs is a really offensive way to describe French Canadians.
Moving on.
Super pigs.
Yeah, this is our last one. Scientists think Nickelback helped kickstart life on
Get the
Earth.
fuck out of here.
They didn't, but there is a chemical that's loosely referred to as Nickelback, and they think that is
So
what
it's like a
actually spurred.
clickbait article title.
It was a clickbait article thing, but it was like technically like science did back it up, which is why we couldn't use it. But Nickelback being
Did the article person, did the author of this article is what I'm trying to say, at least have fun with like quoting Nickelback songs or lyrics? Or
no, they did not, because it was
Wow.
it was a very
Missed
scientific thing. Yeah,
Wow.
it was.
I mean,
just,
your opening sentence writes itself. Look at this
Look at this
photograph.
photograph
Yeah.
of these things. Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Like it
they-
would be perfect.
they
Wow.
didn't pull it off. So
Wow. Disappointing.
yeah, which brings us now to our what the fact section. I feel like I'm worried about this because I feel like Chris knows a lot of stuff and he's going to get them all.
He does know a lot of stuff.
I don't know
So-
that I know a lot of stuff.
You have a lot of random knowledge.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you who have not seen this segment before, I will ask 3 questions to these guys and to chat. You will try and hopefully guess it. It's more fun if you don't already know it, but if you do know it, then what am I going to do about it? So which brings us to our first question.
Okay.
Chris, I'm going to come to you first.
Okay.
Be prepared. The Cars for Kids song was not an original song. It was adapted from another song. They didn't write Cars for Kids for the commercial. What song was it adapted from? It was adapted from a song called Circle 5 about Dante's Fifth Circle of Hell. It was a song called Little, I don't know how you kick, whatever. How you say it.
Rock.
Little
Kid
Kid
Rock.
Rock.
About how kids will bring back the Messiah, or was it called Pain and Pleasure about things that hurt you, make you actually feel good. One of those is what Cars for Kids was adapted from. What do you think the answer?
I think it's B.
You think it's B? What?
Yeah.
Do you
What's
know
it?
that?
Huh?
Do you know that?
That it's B?
It feels like you were very confident in that.
I mean, knowing the way you write these questions, it's either all of the above or it's pain is pleasure because you're a fucking weirdo. But I think
So you're trying to guess how I would write it.
right. But the reason why I think it's Kinderlash is that I think it's based off of that to me is a German name, and it's probably based off some German thing.
Okay. Heather, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm also going to go with B.
Okay.
There's an uncomfortable amount of K's being used for this. Cars for Kids. I've always had a problem with that, and that just feels very Kinderloch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I also, what's weird is I felt like I had heard that song before, and I don't know.
I mean, you probably didn't, but you guys are both right. That it is that song. There is an artist named like Yossi something or another who basically does almost exclusively Jewish parodies of other songs. Because Cars for Kids is a very Orthodox Jewish organization.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like they don't tell you, but like 90% of the money goes to teaching Orthodox children about Judaism.
All right,
not know that.
easy. You're
Okay.
getting real close to being anti-Semitic.
I'm not. I'm just giving it
All the Cars for Kids. It all goes back, right? Right. This is a George
That's
Soros
what they
thing.
do. That is literally like look up the organization. So
So they had.
yeah. So they presumably had looked out. So if the guy who wrote it has an album that's called the Jewish version, and it's just like parodies of famous songs, but all like with a little thing to it. So he originally wrote this song, which was not intended as a parody. and
Sure.
it
No.
worked out.
Of course.
I'm uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable too.
Why?
I'm uncomfortable with this.
Why? They're all facts.
No, I know.
Okay, we'll move on then.
I'm gonna move away from the comments I want to make about
Okay.
this. Questions.
Next question.
Oh, come on. He's going to know this.
Yeah,
He's going to know this.
because we had Chris on for
okay.
conspiracy.
Okay.
On a different show, I figured we'd do a conspiracy question.
All right, I forgot all about that show. Did you do something to make me forget?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
So, questions: which of the following are turned out to be real conspiracies?
Okay.
Heather, I'm going to come to you
That's fair.
first.
I think you should.
This time, yes, because Chris will probably ruin it. That the government was actually putting poison in booze during Prohibition so that people wouldn't drink. That the Dalai Lama is a secret CIA agent. Or that Canada developed actual gaydar. Which of these?
Can it be all of the above?
It can be all of the above.
I'm going to vote all of the above.
Are you going to vote all of the
I'm
above just for
voting-
the psychological reasons?
I think that so I'm pretty sure B is true. I feel like I've heard that one before.
Okay.
A sounds like some wacky shit that Prohibition government would have done. C is the one that I think is not true, but because I think A and B are true, I'm going to go with.
You're going to go with all of the
I'm
above.
going to go with all the above.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris, where are you going?
I think you know where I'm going.
You're going to go with all of the above?
It's all of the above.
You're
It's
gonna go all of the
100% all of the above.
Okay. You guys not letting me have any fun tonight. It is all of the, it is all of the above.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I knew A was 100% true. I knew C was 100% true.
Really?
B, I was like, I think I've heard that to be true, but it's also one of those things where, it could just be kind of like a half truth. But so I had to go with all of the above. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
C, you had heard. C is a true. Wow, that was the one that almost threw me off.
They attempted. I mean, I don't think they were successful, but
Yeah, they called it, like, basically what they would do is they would put a camera directly on people's pupils and then show them pictures of,
People.
of people of the same sex. And if they're
gay pornography. Now, why are you all of a sudden just bashful?
I was trying not to open the door too much. Okay. Bringing us to our third question. In 1928, Alfred Smith ran for New York governor with which of the following slogans? Chris, I'll come to you first.
Okay.
Was it, I'll do my best, but I can't promise anything? Was it, I'll give you a hand, job, and food?
God damn it.
Or was it, make your wet dreams come true? One of those is true. Which one do you think?
I'm going to go with B.
You're going to go with B. Why B?
It's either A or B, but I think it's B because I don't think, because A is a little too cheeky. And C, I just don't know what a wet dream is outside of
What we all know it.
what we all know it
Yeah.
to be. So I'm going with B as a process of elimination.
Okay.
But because I also think I feel like I read about someone's slogan at some point being, I'll give you a job and food. It's the hand part that's a little off for me.
Okay. Heather, what do you think?
I actually also think it's B.
Okay.
I think it's B. I mean, kind of all the stuff that Chris was just saying too. Right. I can't think of any other phrase that wet dream has ever meant. Like, what would that mean? Like, I'll give you food or something.
Mhm.
And I feel like as a New Yorker, I'll do my best, but I can't promise anything. Nah, New Yorkers we're tough. We're full of bravado.
Okay.
And I feel like in the 1920s, anyone running for governor was probably like, he probably had some illicit, like illegal stuff backing him up. So I feel like he would be staunchly like, I'm gonna run and I'll do it. I don't know that he sounded like that.
Unless like wet dream is like some sort of weird analogy
like
to
for
building
drinking?
a dam.
When did Prohibition end? Could it be? Could it be like I'll make your wet dreams, and it actually meant like I'll get you liquor again? Maybe. I'm still gonna go with B because it's 1928, and I feel like everyone's worried about jobs and food, and I'll give you a hand, meaning like I'll help you, not, like us laughing because obviously nowadays that's a ridiculous slogan. And we have 2 A's in the chat.
2 A's. Okay. The actual answer is you were almost there. It is
B?
I'll make your wet dreams come true.
Was
Oh,
it
wow.
Prohibition?
It was Prohibition.
Yeah.
was
Oh my
Prohibition.
God.
He was trying. He failed because it was
failed.
an awful slogan.
Okay.
But I'll do my best. But I can't promise anything. Is also a real slogan.
From him or from someone?
No, from a different.
Okay,
person.
yeah, not
Yeah,
a New Yorker.
Not a New Yorker.
Yeah, now that you mention it, like someone's slogan was something about, I'll put a chicken in every pot. That's the thing I was saying about
That's
the
what
hand.
we're
And, yeah,
Googling,
the
I
job.
think,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I only know that because of musical theater.
Yeah.
Joy saying 31, which I'm assuming means that's when Prohibition ended, so that would make sense.
Right. So he was trying, but he
So
did
he
not.
was trying.
He did not pull it off.
And he meant wet dream as in like, yeah, I'll get you boozed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
So
Okay.
if we like that category too, there's a bunch more ridiculous slogans.
I like
that will-
ridiculous slogans. Yeah,
So
I think
I
that's
will-
fun.
We'll
Yeah.
look for other ones for
stuff.
us to make fun of.
All right, but we did pretty good. 2 for 3.
Yeah, 2 for 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
2 for 3.
Yeah, I think this is the first time like people have teamed up to try and figure out the answers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess that means you guys are good at being married. So
Yeah.
It's because I touch fish.
moving right along to Would You Rather. Heather, why don't you kick us off?
Yes, sorry, I didn't have this tab open, but give me a second. I'm laughing too hard.
I could just bring up the
No,
choices.
I
if
got
that will
it.
help.
I got it.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather know the truth about existence or meaning of life? Or would you rather, does this mean would you rather slow aging?
Yeah, would you rather be able
Right.
to
So you
like age
understand the meaning
slower?
of life or age slower.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Joy is letting us know she was wrong. Prohibition ended in 33.
Okay.
Thank
thank
you,
you
Joy.
for the
Thank you. I
for
appreciate the history.
Thank you, Joy.
I guess it's my question, so I get to decide this.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I'd like to know is when we say aging, do we mean just physical appearance or do we mean like everything, like your body breaking down and all that stuff?
I think it's basically like taking how your normal life is and multiplying it by like say 2 or 3, so that like you're essentially your teens go on twice as long, and so I think that's scientifically how it would make sense.
Can I keep my smarts of being older, but get rid of all the
It's your question.
great. I'm gonna say that I could physically and like in the body still be a little younger, but like I could still have all the knowledge of my current brain age. So I'm gonna go with that one because
You're gonna go with the slower aging.
I am because I think I wouldn't mind not aging so much, both in terms of like externally and internally. Just like you start feeling, I mean, we're all of a certain age and you start to like feel your body's just it's slowing down, it's breaking down, things get harder, things are not as fun.
Mine's awful.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And I think it would be nice to slow that down. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be cool to understand the meaning of life. But it also brings me back to like, is there really a meaning of life? I don't know. Or are we just science?
Right.
We're just a form of science.
Right. That's where like I'm gonna go that route. I'm gonna go the meaning of life thing because I'm rolling the dice. Because I think that like if there is a meaning and I can do something with it, then that's a bigger payday potentially than the slowing of aging. Because like it might mean like if there is a heaven or if there is an afterlife or there is a reincarnation or whatever, that kind of thing, and I could know that, then I could do something about it. So there is a decent chance that it's just like
Cells happened in science.
yeah, just random, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But if it's not, I think it's worth the dice roll. So I'm gonna go the other way.
Cool.
I'm gonna go with
Also, I realized I did something different because I think it's just being in a room with everybody, and I answered my own question first. But you know what? There are no rules. So now I'm going to come to you.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer?
Well, I mean, before I get to that, I just want to ask Dustin a question. You were born and raised in New York, right?
I was.
Yeah. True New Yorker learns the meaning of life and figures out how to codify it. So she said, I can learn the meaning of life and that'd be a bigger payday. Not that you have any sort of existential joy or peace. It's like, that's how I can make a fucking buck.
Right.
You watch.
You know that, yeah.
You watch the show semi-regularly enough
Yeah.
you know that whenever we get to things where it's like you could be invisible or you could hide yourself, and Dustin's like, because then I could rob a bank. And it would
Right,
be
it's all about
easier.
robbing a bank.
And it always comes back to robbing a bank.
Yeah.
So yes.
Well,
And it's true that it's a very new. That does sound very new.
I will go with slowing the aging process because I know what the secret of life is already, and I think that
Do you want to share it? Because that would up our viewership a lot.
sure, to live well. That's the secret of
That's the
life.
secret of life.
Also, there is no secret. Everything is meaningless. You give it meaning, Dustin.
You don't know.
Yeah, I do.
You don't know.
I know that 100%.
I mean, you believe.
No, we are just a mirroring of the universe, spinning an infinite.
But
void.
this is a world where would you rather can happen because of magic, and therefore there is magic in the universe. In this universe that we're
What are you,
referring to.
13?
We're playing a game.
I would go with the slow aging because I think you could probably bank on that even more if you were slightly if you could slow your older.
If you wanted to take a mercenary approach to it.
Yeah. If I wanted to be Dustin, you could sell that because I think most people are going to look at the meaning of life and they're going to go like, oof. It's going to be a big letdown.
Right, and then
but also, I think but I also think that if you can slow your aging process, I think we're very close to understanding in a scientific way what the meaning of life is. But philosophically, I don't think we'll ever.
See, I'd go the other way. I would say that we are closer to figuring out how to slow down aging than we are to figuring out the meaning of life. I mean, like science is working on one of those, and it's the slow down aging thing, not the meaning of life thing. The meaning of life thing is just like priests and shit.
Yeah, but once they figure out how to slow down aging, you know that's only going to be for rich people.
Of course.
Folks like us won't be able to slow down our aging.
Initially.
Yeah, I'll be dead by the time.
Yeah.
Fair.
You know.
We've all seen
I'll
Wrath of Khan. I know how this goes.
I'll what?
We've all seen Wrath of Khan.
What does that have to do with anything?
They freeze, they all go into it's really Space Seed earlier, where they all go up to
Just unpack it. Keep unpacking it.
They go up to the spaceship and they're all frozen and it doesn't really work.
But that's not really slowing.
You're looking at me like you're explaining this to me. I'm asking you to explain this to the audience that do not understand your esoteric Star Trek references.
Yeah.
I just think that looking to, be frozen just because you're rich is not going to work. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying like for the rich.
But Khan wasn't rich.
I thought he was.
No, Khan was a despot.
Oh, okay. I thought he was.
How am I telling you about Star Trek lore? When did this become a podcast about Star Trek lore? So for the audience watching, Noonien Khan?
Tommy's like, we know the Space Seed episode. Come on. Tommy, what was his, he wasn't rich? I thought he was like, there's a Next Gen episode with rich frozen people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, there's the rich country singer.
Yes, that's what I'm getting mixed up with. There's
Yeah,
like a
no,
rich
in
guy who's
space-
like, what are my stocks?
Yeah, I mean, in Space Seed, he's like a despot. He like controls a third of the Earth after the nuclear
Right.
war in the 1990s.
Yeah, right. Topping saying he was engineered. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Right. He was in like a eugenics war, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got my.
Yeah, so in Star Trek, there was a nuclear war in the 90s.
Right.
And then after that, there was a eugenics war in
Right.
which augmented people tried to take over the Earth. And what they decided to do was just to launch them into the vastness of space.
Hence the movie.
Yeah.
Well, this was great.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on.
Yes,
We already
let's
got
move
our
on to the
answer.
next question.
Did Chad have an opinion on that?
Chats was sort of in between because Chat was agreeing like Topping and Joy were both saying like they'd love to know the meaning of life, but like what if it's crappy? Maybe not.
So you got to roll the dice sometimes.
So yeah.
All right. Question number 2.
Topping, thank you for supporting the Star Trek.
So I guess 2 is me.
2 is you.
All right, Dustin,
You coming to me?
Dusty.
Nope.
Would you rather would you rather have the secret of life and be called Dusty the rest of your life? Or
Nope.
be filthy rich and be called Dusty the rest of your life? No, that's not the real question. The real question is, would you rather have a pack of 50 silverback gorillas that obey all your orders and protect you 24/7, or a horde of 10,000 bees that obey all your orders and protect you 24/7?
I'm gonna go bees, because I feel like if I'm in a situation where let's assume in this scenario that I'm going to be attacked by things, it's much easier, I think, to stop a bunch of gorillas because you can just shoot them, whereas like you can't shoot a bunch of bees. So like the bees will get into shit. So like I feel like as much as like it'd be nice to have really strong gorillas, like bees have a much greater capability of evading being stopped there. 10,000 bees will fuck your shit up. So I'm gonna go 10,000 bees.
Okay. Heather,
Chat.
gorillas or bees?
Chat's going with bees also.
Okay.
I would also go with bees. I think so. I think that gorillas like I'm picturing like big, strong gorillas. So obviously,
Those are silverback gorillas.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, obviously they're going to be able to really like protect you. But I feel like the bees are going to, I actually agree in the chat. Someone was like, bees are more subtle. I agree. You actually make
10,000 bees are not very subtle.
no, but you do make a good point that like if you kill off 2 bees, you've still got 10,000 minus 2 bees left.
Right. Try shooting
bees-
10,000 bees.
Bees can make
Right.
bees can have more bees, and also bees have good ecological effects. Like they do good things for the environment. So I guess while they're not busy protecting you, they're like off making
Right. You'd
honey.
be
Keeping the
protected
environment
and have flowers.
Yeah, and they'd just be like making sure that things are still green. Greenery still exists.
Well, I think silverback gorillas are able to procreate as well. So I think you can make more silverback
So you
gorillas.
could have more gorillas as well. Yeah.
I would go with bees myself, though, because I've seen Planet of the Apes, and this sounds like how Planet of the Apes begins.
So you train them, and then all
you
of a
train
sudden-
them
Yeah.
but then when I die, what happens to those 50 silverback gorillas? Now they take over the world.
Perhaps, or maybe they're just like It's also the possibility that they're just like service dogs, because like a service dog is like a normal dog when you take its jacket off, but when you put its jacket on, they're like very docile and whatever. But then they'll just have a good time. So it's possible that the gorillas are just like service dogs.
Yeah, but gorillas mentally are much closer to human beings than dogs. And so if you train gorillas because if you have 50 silverback gorillas who will obey all your orders and do anything you want them to do for 24/7, you of course are going to domesticate some of them and teach them how to go do your shopping and do your laundry
Sure.
and do all those things that you need to do. And then eventually you die and those gorillas have no one else to service. And if you've ever seen what happens to chimpanzees once they get older and they are no longer with their humans that raised them, gives you a good insight to what these gorillas will be like. And so they'll take over the world.
Possible.
Whereas bees, you just get honey.
Yeah.
So everybody's going bees.
I'm going bees.
Everybody's going
Going
bees.
bees. Everyone's
Okay.
going bees. Yeah. Everyone was going bees. Chat's going with bees too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Which brings us to our last. I always pick the depressing one for the last one, not because I pick depressing ones for the last one, but but because I'm always trying to be conscious of which question should go with which person. And I feel like it's an interesting question, but you guys won't want to do it. So, which brings us to our third
I
question.
thought you were about to say, which is because I'm a depressing person.
No,
I also
I don't
thought
think
that's what
I don't think I'm a depressing
I
person.
also thought you were about
But,
to say that.
yeah.
It's like, what's happening?
The last question is: would you rather be able to control the day that you die or the way that you die, assuming that like the day that you die will inherently not be like soon? Like I don't want it to, like in either case, the day that you die is going to be like, say at least like 15 years away.
It's a miserable question, Dustin.
It is. I'm saying, but it's an interesting question.
Any moment,
Some of
I'm
them,
expecting Joy to be like, I hate this.
yeah, she probably will.
Yeah.
I'm sure she will. I'll go to you first, Chris, because Heather's mad at me.
As she should be. No, I would say the way I die.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think everybody wants to die in their sleep. So that's what I would choose. And then, you go to sleep and you don't wake up. Why the fuck do you care what day it is? I feel like if you choose, like, I'm going to die 20 years from today, then your entire life, you're going to be like thinking about that day. And then the day that it happens, you're just going to be really like freaked out. You're not going to be able to enjoy it. Whereas if you say, I'm just going to die in my sleep, you don't know.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, that wasn't funnier. For
No,
your
it's fine.
depressing, sad question.
I like the answer, Heather.
Yeah, I also would go with how you die, because same. You get to pick, right? You get to pick the least painful way possible. So you can pick, right? Oh, I go to sleep, I don't wake up. The only pro that I can see towards picking when you die is just so if you have things in your life that you want to make arrangements for, you have time to make those arrangements. Like, we have cats, and if we knew, this is so sad, but like we would be able to make arrangements for them so we wouldn't have to worry what happens after we die. Because like I would worry I'd go to sleep, not wake up, and then what happens?
Sure.
But I think the unfortunate side effect would be exactly, it's always hanging over your head that you're like, well, soon's the day, like the day is soon.
Right, but if you know that date is like, if you know the date is like when you're 90, then I feel like there's going to be a part of you that's like, it was good.
Well,
the
question
I had a solid run.
the question is, you get to pick the day.
Yeah,
So you know the day, you're picking it.
right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like by the time, I feel like there's a certain age by the time where you're, like it's not hanging over your head, because I feel like people who are like, like 90 are just sort of like, yeah, I had a good run. I don't want to like do anything to myself, but at the same time, like if it's tomorrow, that's cool. Like I just, I feel like if you venture it out long enough, then you won't have that thing where it's hanging over your head.
I just think psychologically it would like fuck with you to know that it's coming.
I mean, the great thing is that with assisted suicide, you can pick the day that
That's
you're going to
true,
die.
Yeah.
You can, yes,
Just
like,
make it even
technically,
darker.
and the way,
No,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
yeah. So technically, this is one of the only questions we've done that is kind of real.
Well,
'cause
what
we're
a
not
great
gonna
way to
control-
end the show.
Yeah,
It's been
right.
wonderful.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks,
yeah.
Dustin.
It was interesting. Not all of them are going to be funny.
Listen, we've talked about jacking off, taxes, and might as well talk about death.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Machetes and karaoke. What a joy.
Topping allaying my fears and making a really good point that
Which is
set up a will. So she's like, if that does happen and you do die, your cats can be taken care of.
yeah. I'm intimidated by wills just because
Sure, I am
because
too.
of the math.
Clearly, I don't have
Like-
one because I'm also intimidated. Right.
Yeah, because like that was the thing that like freaked me. Like, of course I don't want to die, and I don't want to have to like think about all that kind of stuff like that. But there's also that like, well, okay, so I'd be like, well, all my money goes to Joy, and that's like, okay, what happens? If something happens to Joy, and it's like, oh, well, then it goes here, and it's like, okay, what happens to that person if they, and it's like I don't know that. I don't know. That seems so much work. Just give it to.
You
Give
know
it
what?
to Joy
You know-
or
you know
give it
what?
to charity. I
Don't
don't know.
worry about that. Just don't have money.
I mean,
there you go.
I've done that pretty well.
Yeah. Same.
Which brings us to the end of our show.
Wait. What? You picked day. You wanted to know when.
I picked day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just 'cause I feel like, if I do say like 90, and then on that day I get like a shark attack, it's
Right.
like,
That's not fun.
yeah. But like I'm already 90. So I'm gonna go with day.
Topping says you can leave money to her after you leave it to Joy.
Okay. Thank you for making it easier, Topic. I appreciate that.
It's a good friend.
Chris.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for putting up with my gentle chiding.
No problem. Where can people find out more about what you got going on?
I'm not really on social media except for Instagram. My handle is @the_Chris_Booth on Instagram. I just we sent it to print today. I just finished a comic book for Legacy Comics called Young Condry. It's a story of a young man who loses his family and then has to go into the New York foster home system. And then he finally learns to kind of stand up for himself. It's called How Willie Met Spike. I won't give away what that means, but it's a very specific thing that happens in the book. It was written by Patrick Hickey Jr. and drawn, all the art done by me. It's I think a really interesting and fun comic book. It's a little graphic. There's some blood, there's some language, so be prepared for that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to do, and that literally went to print today, so physical copies will be available in 2 weeks, but you can get a digital download tonight. You'll put it in the comments. I'm wanting to sell 25 digital comics tonight.
The link is already in the description, so if you're watching this video, you can click that link.
Click that link.
Or you can also head over to legacycomics.com. But yeah, click the link and buy the magazine. Buy the comic book.
Yeah, the comic book, Dustin. It's not a magazine. Jesus Christ. No, I mean, with so much AI work being created now, the comic book's only $5.99. So if you have $6, buy it. I would really, really appreciate it.
It's his birthday.
It's my birthday. That's the best birthday gift you can give me, is to buy a copy of the book. And eventually we will be having signings of the physical copy. So just check out @the_Chris_Booth for all that information, or @Legacy Comics with an X on Instagram.
Yep. Awesome. Cool.
Yay.
Heather, what do you got coming up?
Just put it on your calendars. May 7th, Red Shirts. It's going to be at in Greenpoint. I believe it's called The Last Comic Books. Oh my gosh, we should talk to them about your okay, side note. Synergy. I believe it's called The Last Comic Book Store or something like that. It's in Greenpoint. We have a show May 7th at 7 p.m. Just put it on in the back of your mind. We don't need a graphic yet because it's not yet. But
yeah, I didn't make that.
That's okay. I didn't tell you to. I didn't tell you to because it's still like I'm not like pushing it yet. I'm just like, hey, have it in the back of your minds.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And for me, you can check me out at DDAGDATO on Instagram. You can check us out at Super Important Stuff. And also, this isn't a show that I'm doing, but it is a open announcement that Armory Sketch, which I am going to be heading up this upcoming with Michelle Drostic this upcoming season, is having their auditions. They are May 6th.
Thank God they're not May 7th.
Yeah. Right, because then people can do both. May 6th, the applications are probably going to appear tomorrow. So I'm telling you about this, but you will not be able to do anything about it for at least another 12 hours. But in 12 hours, you will. So please, if you enjoy doing sketch, audition. We're writers and actors and all that. And that brings us to the end of our show. Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dustin.
Yeah.
I'll do it anytime.
All right. Good to know.
Anytime you want me, Dustin, I'll be here for you, buddy.
And we will see you guys next week around the same time. Have a good week. Bye.